It's tough in LA right now. Shannon, what do you make of the Rams claiming Baker?
I've seen the Rams play. Even with Stafford, they weren't good. I saw the Rams play without Stafford. They were even worse. I do not expect Baker Mayfield to come in here and be this beacon of light, this great shining light, this knight on a white horse saving the day. They're a bad team. He's a bad quarterback. It's a match made in hell. Perfect. I don't know what you expected, what they thought he gonna come in and turn it around. He's not. Now I think you can start to come to my side. He's a guy. And once you realize that, you'll be okay. They just put Matthew Stafford on the IR because of a spinal contusion. Bryce Perkins was bad. John Wolford, he had that moment, Skip. I think they went to Seattle. I think they beat Seattle in Seattle with him. Or he came in after, they did. No. Because remember, he hurt his thumb. Well, he hurt his thumb. Yeah. And then Golf came in. Because Golf had.
You mean in the past?
Yeah, when he was with Rams.
Not this year.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
And so
at this point, they've lost 6 in a row.
Yeah. They're not about to be 7. But anyway, look. Is he going to play? I think they play Thursday. Do they play Thursday?
Thursday night against the Raiders at SoFi. You'll be there, right?
Man, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go but watch 2 bad teams play. Well, the Rams. Not the Rams. I mean, if I would go just watch Devontae and see if he can get 150.
Yeah.
But Skip, Baker Mayfield in 2022, he has an 18.2 QBR. They started tracking QBR in 2006.
Yeah.
There have been 521 qualified quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield is 520 out of 521 as far as lowest QBR for a season. Can I interest you in that? And somehow you think he gonna do what? Do who? Win? Like Ricky Waters say, do what? Why? No, Skip. I had a feeling yesterday. You asked me what I think. I was like, the only place I can think of is the Rams.
You did say that.
They got two bad quarterbacks. And so they need a quarterback. So why not? And he might not play. They might have put Josh Johnson. No, Josh Johnson went to San Francisco. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this kid? I mean, what am I expecting? I mean, what do you expect? He going to relaunch his career here in the last, 5 games? You think that's what he's going to do? He's going to turn around his career with the Rams?
Tell me when it's my turn.
It's your turn.
Okay, thank you. Here we go. This kid, and I still consider him a kid because I don't think he's grown up yet, he cannot get a break because I threw out the possibility, would the Texans take a shot because he's way better than either of the quarterbacks they have started this year. I wish they had taken a shot because he would be way, way, way better off with the Houston Texans right now than he would be with the Rams. So he started the year with the team that all the power rankings ranked dead last, 32nd and dead last. That was the Carolina Panthers going into this season. So he started with that team. Now he winds up on a waiver claim with the team that's a cumulative 30th in power rankings, the champion LA Rams, the team you picked to repeat in the Super Bowl. And they are an unmitigated disaster because they're more of a disaster than the Houston Texans are. At least the Texans compete with some. This team is non-competitive because it lost Cooper Kupp, it lost Allen Robinson, it obviously lost Matt Stafford, but the offensive line from day one this year has been a shambles. It has been a wreck.
No AD, no Ashawn Robinson.
Okay. All right, so it's just a mess upon mess upon mess. And wait a second. They're telling me last night that, they shipped it, they FedExed him or whatever, the playbook, so that when he's flying to L.A., he can try to absorb the playbook on the fly so that he can start Thursday night against the Raiders on Thursday Night Football.
Ooh,
what?
Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. Please let him start. Please.
What?
Please.
This is a fate worse than death. I mean, what is this, like punishment? I mean, what is this? Can you imagine?
Do you want to play football or not, son?
Can you imagine?
Do you want to play football or not, son?
Well, yeah, he does want to play, and I'm sure if they ask him to, he'll say, okay, I'm going to give it my best shot.
That ain't much.
Hey, is this not an embarrassment? What are you doing?
Well, had he done what he was supposed to, that wouldn't have happened. Had he done what he was supposed to do in Cleveland, this would not have happened.
Okay, so I'm going to get to that in 1 second, but I'm going to get back to the Rams. So it was interesting. Their offensive coordinator was talking about, we viewed this move as acquiring talent because Baker's a talent, whether you think so or not. He went first overall for a reason because he's talented. And they also said that this is about competitive nature because we need a spark. Baker can provide a spark because he is a spark plug kind of player. but not for this team right now.
Right now, Baker Mayfield is a flint that's wet.
Okay.
Ain't no spark being provided.
So here's the point. I do like the fit here longer term, and I'm hoping for Baker's sake that he can show a glimpse here or there, because he and Sean McVay are birds of a feather, and Baker hasn't had a Sean McVay, because I'm going to remind you. Not birds of a feather. What do I not like about Sean McVay? He's got a lot of hot dog in him. Remember Coach McYay running all the way up the tunnel? He's running up the tunnel like Deshaun Jackson.
I liked it.
Remember against Brady? He's running up the tunnel.
Yeah.
That's Baker all over. So McVay has some Baker in him, and Baker has a whole lot of McVay in him. And Baker needed somebody to encourage that kind of behavior.
Right.
Because Baker has a lot of what they used to call piss and vinegar in him. It's an old baseball term, but that's what he's got in him. That's the way he plays. He's kind of an FU kind of a guy who loves to create front-running sort of momentum. So does McVay. So I think they would thrive on each other, because Baker's smart. He's got the IQ to match wits with McVay. I think they would be a good click going forward, depending on whatever happens.
Going forward. We snatched him up off the waiver wire, hoping that he leaves so we can get a conditional draft pick. That's what we're trying to do, because we ain't got none of those. Because right now, Detroit got our pick, which might be the third pick of the draft, which might be Jalen Carter. Can you imagine what Detroit's about to parlay the Rams pick into?
Yep. I can. Okay, but that was F them picks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did you get effing
We
them
got a Super Bowl. We good. We got a Super Bowl.
Okay.
We didn't anticipate everybody getting injured this year. Cooper Kupp getting injured, Matthew Stafford, the Marcus Robinson, even before he got injured, Skip. It was not working out. The offensive line has been a total disaster, and the defense hasn't been as good as people thought it was going to be. For whatever reason, it has not.
All right, so now back to Baker's just a guy. I'm going to say this one last time on Baker Mayfield. Before the draft, I said I would take him #1 overall, and you said I would take Sam Darnold. Just about everybody said they would take Sam Darnold, and I turned out to be right about Cleveland went for Baker Mayfield.
They did, you're right.
And then what happened the first year? He finished second for Rookie of the Year because he won 7 games for a team that went 0-16. He had a tremendous rookie year. Then in the second year, it was Odell. He loved Odell. They socialized together. They vacationed together. They did not click on the field for whatever reason. But once Odell went down and out in year number 3, Baker took off again. They went 11-5 in year number 3 and won their first playoff game since 1994. He did so with a QBR of 91 at Pittsburgh against your arch rival. He had a sensational year that year. So he proved that he was worthy of the #1 overall pick, because he had 2 great years in Cleveland, and you try to say that he's trash. So I would respect your opinion a whole lot more if you had said he was trash before the draft, which you never did.
No.
Or if you'd said he was trash during his rookie year, which you never did. Or if you said he was trash in his 3rd year, which you never did. You were very quiet about it. In fact, at one point, you started preempting and co-opting my bandwagon by driving it and calling him shake and bake.
He's a guy.
Wait, he's not a guy. He showed you he can play at an extremely high level because he did for 2 big years in Cleveland. He proved it. It's on his resume.
Yeah.
That's why McVay is saying, I'm going to take a shot.
We've all purchased things in the beginning, and he was like, oh, man, I really like this. This is great.
No,
and then come to realize that was wasted.
Legit.
No,
not just
legit.
a guy.
No,
very
he's not.
legit.
He's not.
And Sam Darnold has no stretch in his career like Baker had for 2 full years in Cleveland. 2 full years.
Skip, the man, 2 teams have said we've seen enough.
Okay, but he goes to Carolina, and they're trash. They were bottom of the barrel trash.
Guess what Carolina has not told Sam Darnold?
Okay.
We haven't seen enough.
But what did they do? They gave 3 draft picks for him. They gave a 2, 2, 4, and 6 for him.
Ta-da! And what did they give for Baker?
They gave $19 million for Sam Darnold.
What did they give for Baker?
Okay, they were foolish. They made a big mistake on Sam Darnold because I first guessed it. I told you before the draft, Sam Darnold will fail in this league because I don't like his poise and presence and command of the position. I don't like it.
Okay.
And I will be right about that, and I've been right about that.
Okay.
So it's as simple as that. I first guessed it, but you didn't first guess it.
He has a couple of games, or let's just say if you combine the seasons together, of the 5 seasons he's put together one season. Baker Mayfield put together
No,
one season.
two seasons.
No.
They went 11-5 his third year.
11-5, and then his rookie season, right?
Okay, yeah, so it's 2 full years.
No. The rookie.
He won 7 games for a bad team as a rookie. He's finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting.
I mean, from the looks of things, over the last 2 years, he's a bad quarterback.
Okay,
They don't let good quarterbacks go.
Okay, but he fractured his shoulder and tore his labrum in game number 2.
what was the excuse this year?
And you kept saying, well, you should get out of there because you're putting a bunch of bad tape out there.
Yeah, but
you're hurt. He had surgery the day after the season 2 years ago.
He had surgery because they had benched him and said we had seen enough.
No.
And he wasn't getting better.
No, they weren't. They didn't bench him. No, he played all the way through.
But Skip, what I don't understand is that when he was throwing touchdowns and they were winning games, I didn't hear mention about the shoulder. But the moment that they started losing,
Okay, but they started losing right away.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
When he threw the Hail Mary against who was it, Arizona? Mm-hmm. They won a few games. Oh, he's celebrating, front running. Ain't mentioned about the shoulder.
Okay.
As soon as somebody put foots in him.
Okay, it was terrible, though, because he did get it repaired right after the season. And it was widely reported that it was really bad. And he had to wear a harness on it to play at all, which restricts your ability to torque into the throw, right? And then he goes to Carolina. It was a worse clown show than the one he left in Cleveland. And by the way, in Cleveland, in his first 4 years, he has 4 different coordinators and head coaches. 4? You're kidding.
I mean, how many coaches has he gotten fired? He was in Carolina for 2 months, and Matt Rule got fired.
I think that was already on the books. That was already coming.
How many coaches did he get fired in Cleveland? I guess Freddie K was on the book.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Hugh Jack was on the book.
Yeah.
I guess Greg Williams was on the book. Everybody's on the book.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was already, the writing was on the wall. If you didn't know, everywhere Baker goes is scripture. It's already written.
Yeah, and then that opening game, I told you it was do or die for Baker against his ex-Cleveland, the Browns.
I don't know if he didn't die, but he didn't do.
All I know is he threw for 155 in the fourth quarter and brought them all the way back to 24-23 ahead.
So I'm just trying to. You covered the game for 40 years. I played 14. We never just started the game in the fourth quarter. No. So when we normally start first quarter, second quarter, halftime, come out third quarter, fourth quarter. So why we get? So I can't give me the stats in the first quarter, second, third.
He got beaten in his first 2 games by a 58-yard field goal and then a 54-yard field goal at the Giants, and that was it.
I mean, there's something. Once you got past beaten, I didn't hear anything else. I think you might have said something about 58 or 54, but all I heard was beaten.
Yep.
That's all I heard.
He's still young enough. You put him in the right situation with somebody who actually supports and loves and encourages his behavior.
Skip, I never said that he couldn't be serviceable in the NFL. I'm just not seeing what you see. You're trying to make it seem like he's here. He's not a here guy.
Okay, but he was there and there.
No, he's not. Because lower your hand.
No, here. Wait, I didn't put it up high enough. He almost won Rookie of the Year.
You ought to be ashamed of you. Nobody remember who almost won Rookie of the Year. He didn't. The trophy's on Saquon's mantle.
Well, did Sam Darnold, was he in that? No, he wasn't in that voting.
Skip, it doesn't. Let me ask you a question. In 1960, who finished third in the presidential race? Nobody cares, only if you won. Who won? Didn't JFK win in 60?
I don't know. It's 1960.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he didn't, unfortunately, last.
He didn't fulfill the term. We know what happened. Yeah. But I'm just saying, nobody remembers who finished second, third, or fourth. Did you win? Saquon got the trophy. I don't remember who finished second.
I remember Dewey finished second because it got reported that he won over Truman.
That was the Truman.
Okay. There you go. So maybe Baker's Dewey.
Yeah, you would have thought newspaper would have learned their lessons after that, but clearly they haven't.
Clearly they have.
But that's okay, Skip.
We may find out on Thursday, guys. And of course, there's that super fun conspiracy theory that the Rams were just trying to keep Baker out of the 49ers' hands.
No. I mean, Sean McVay, that's his boy.
All right, gentlemen, will not signing Odell Beckham Jr. hurt the Cowboys in the long run? Skip and Shannon deep dive into this scenario when Undisputed returns here on FS1. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.